Do you ever feel like something's up? Like our society is numbing us? Enough's enough. Something somewhere has to summon us to apply the pressure on the world leaders till something's done. Do you really trust politicians? Because I sure know they ain't fussed with us.
I know it, you know it. There's no point in denying it. But it is not fair to judge Islam per the actions of some Muslims. Otherwise, all Christians are crusaders. But they're not. And all Jews are Zionists. But they're not. We know that there are groups amongst every religion that are military. That's it.
Now, first and foremost, we have a very general principle in the Quran in chapter 5, verse 32, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, whoever kills a human being without any reason, like a manslaughter or corruption of the earth, it is as though he has killed the whole of mankind.
Dude, all I said was, I hope it wasn't terrorists. What's your problem, dude? What's my problem? My problem is you giving life to that word. What word? Terrorist. You hope it wasn't the terrorists. Now what could you possibly mean by that? You know that? You play the victim card without even me dealing anything into your hand. It's hard not to play the victim when your whole life you've been labeled as the problem. That word infuriates me. If I had said, I hope it wasn't the Muslims, would that make you feel better? Society's paintbrush has eloquently painted a portrait of what a terrorist is in all of our minds. They've given it a religion, a color, a bunch of characteristics, and many of the times even a language. Okay, Picasso, what picture do you paint of a terrorist? I don't paint a picture. Do you know what it's like? Not knowing what's gonna happen to your mother every single day? Her leaving the house wearing a headscarf? After 9/11, she was labeled a terrorist, and her headscarf was the stamp of approval. She was the picture that the world had drew. She was the monster that everyone was scared of. My mother, my heart, my savior. She wouldn't hurt a fly. Dude, I didn't know that word meant that much to you. All I'm saying is a terrorist can be anyone. You, me, our teacher. But it takes a special kind of evil. An evil that I don't think lives in any of us.
Yusuf?
Yeah?
Who are you talking to?
قد كفاني علم ربي من سؤالي واختياري.
These two girls will be holding out this sign to see how people react when they are labeled that way. You beautiful ladies ain't terrorists. Are you for real? Because people assume that because you're wearing this, that you think you're Palestinian. Yeah, you do it.
This is very basic. One nation in the world has over 1,000 military bases. They say it's religion when clearly it isn't. It's not just Muslims that oppose your imperialism. Is Hugo Chavez a Muslim? Nah, I didn't think so. Is Castro a Muslim? Nah, I didn't think so. It's like the definition didn't ever exist. I guess it's all just dependent who your nemesis is. Irrelevant how eloquent the rhetoric peddler is. They're telling fibs, now tell us who the terrorist is.
Changing me, I still have the same beliefs. I can scream free Palestine, die for my pride, still pray for peace, still burn a fed for the brutality they spread over the world. Pakistan's an ocean, bodies in the brown water floating, still nobody helps.
No, I'm not a terrorist. No, I'm not a terrorist. I'm telling you I'm innocent, and I don't know a terrorist. I'm a Muslim man. Gotta stay clean when I'm on my deen. I'm a Muslim man. Make them say I mean, I'm a Muslim man. Heaven is a dream when you're on my team. I'm a Muslim man. Yeah, akhi, I'm a Muslim man.
game with the public in London on Oxford Street to see what words they associate with Muslims. Terrorist.
The Muslims?
Muslim.
Oh, don't do it. Please don't do it.
Terrorist. Okay, Muslim.
Peaceful.
Okay, peaceful. We've not been getting a lot of these answers recently.
Oh, really?
What made you say peaceful when you heard Muslim straight away? Because the media today, it's not really a message that's pushing forward peace.
Yeah.
It's not what you see in the media say. So what made you say peaceful?
No, I completely understand that, and I'm not angry at the reason why people would turn around and say, you know, terrorist, Muslim, terrorist, because when it's been bombarded in your face that much, what are you meant to say? You're going to be saying these things if you don't have no association with the religion or the culture or the history. And the reason why I said peaceful is because Islam, the pure fundamental translation of that is peace, and that's something that I embody in wherever I go.
Do you think media is playing a big role in shaping how people are perceiving Islam at the moment?
Yeah, of course they are, and they have an agenda too, and they obviously will, but that's a reason why, say for myself working in the media industry, we need to change that, and we need to show people that, yo, we're not all terrorists. We're not all
for real.
We're not all doing these bad things. Look, I'm Muslim, I'm in the creative industry, I do what I like, but I'm not a terrorist. I'm not blowing people up. I'm not extreme in radicalized views that everybody else is doing. Come put me up there, or come put all of the community that I know who are not doing that on that pedestal, you know? Like, I wear this ring every day, bro, and it's got like it's got a prayer, and it says Allah is enough. Like, and the whole prayer is all just like peaceful connotations. Love for all, hatred for none, man.
So just a quick question: why do you think the media have this agenda? Because they could say the truth and they could show the minority of the terrorists and how little it represents Islam, but the way they do it is like it represents, you know, all of us. Why do you think that the media have this agenda?
Because there always has to be an enemy. Because if there's always an enemy, there's always a justification for military spending, for anything to do with vilification of a certain community, and if you look back in time, there always has been, whether it's been the Russians, whether it's been communism, now it just happens to be terrorism.
So it's our time this time.
Yeah, of course, yeah, and that doesn't mean that every single person with a beard, given your big one and my small one, yeah, doesn't mean that we're all part of that, you know? We all do things in our walks of life that the media never picks up on. Because then at the end of your video, put this clip so people leave with the message.
A positive message.
Exactly. Love for hatred for none, that's all I'm speaking.
Nimshake, Jazakallah.
Islam does not stand for any kind of violence. Islam does not stand for any kind of militancy. Islam does not stand for any kind of terrorism. Islam does not stand for any kind of brutality. This is Islam.
Don't let them cage you, collar you, train you, rob off your plate, lock you away, punish you, blame you, shoot you, chase you, chain you, make you work for the minimum wage. You got to keep up with the neighbours, so you wasted your paycheck on the latest fragrance. Don't let them put you down and tell you to stay shut. Raise up. We have the power to connect with one another.